Did Tom recruit you? Was he your main recruiter?
He recruited me.
What was that? Can you just sort of talk about that relationship, how that started? Like, and just just the interactions. I mean, what was he like when you first met him?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met him, I think he's the same as he is now. I was talking all the time, telling stories.
Right.
A funny guy. I feel like he's obviously he's a part of the reason I came to Penn State. Because he was a really good recruiter, and I think he did a good job. Showing me what Penn State was all about. And then as far as when I got to Penn State, our relationship just kind of continued to grow. And obviously we wasn't as close as I guess some of him and his DBs were.
Right. I mean, that's sort of rare because he doesn't really. He said right after all this stuff happened that he hadn't talked to offensive guys for years.
He doesn't talk. Before he didn't talk to a lot of offensive guys. But, I feel like the ones he recruits, he tries to kind of stay in touch with and talk to a little more. So we had a pretty good relationship and still do now.
When you're a high school kid, before Penn State started recruiting you, do high school kids know who Tom Bradley is, like in the Pittsburgh area? Is that?
I did because my brother semi-leave got recruited by Penn State.
Okay.
So I knew who he was. Obviously, Pittsburgh is a big Penn State area, so I feel like a lot of people do definitely know who he is, and obviously before everything happened to everyone, I feel like a lot of people knew who he was.
How do you think that he relates to you guys? I mean, Joe, from that 30-year gap between Joe and him. Do you think he relates better to players on that sort of level? Is he the youth of him? It's not like he's a spring chicken, but
yeah. First of all, I think Joe. Obviously, I think he did a great job of relating to players for how many different eras he went through, and continually adapting to players and trying to relate to them. But, I would definitely say Scrap relates to players better than he did, just because he's a lot more younger. He has. Just like I say, he's a lot more younger, and he's out on the road recruiting a lot more, so he kind of knows what's going on more.
Is there like a sense of frustration or sadness to this coming to a close, or possibly coming to a close? Like, how do you guys sort of wrap this up? Is it excitement? How do you see it?
I think it's a bittersweet moment as a senior. It's our last game in a Penn State uniform. But at the same time, it's one of those things you're kind of tired of all the questions surrounding the program, and we're still gonna have to answer them no matter where we go, but it's just we'll be answering them probably on a smaller scale.
Do you have a sense for the larger scale, sort of your sense of place in history for the whole program?
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know if we'll be one of the more memorable teams, but this will be one of the more memorable, definitely probably the most memorable year in Penn State history, just because of everything that went on. Kind of sucks for us as players, because we feel like we had a good team this year, and a lot of it was overshadowed by a lot of negativity.
Is there any pride for you in how you guys have been able to handle this? Do you take a sense of ownership for it?
Yeah, I think definitely as players, I think we handled it really well. I'm not really too sure if too many other teams around the country would have handled it the way that we have, and I'm proud of myself and all my teammates for the way that we handle things.